Welcome to the Thought Brothers. It's June 25th, 2025. It's hot all over the country and it's hot on the Thought Brothers. Let me first say you all probably are missing Mr. Spivey. Mr. Spivey is on special assignment. I have to whisper that. He's on special assignment. Don't say anything. He'll be back next week in his place. At his request, Colonel Eric Garvin. Look here, fellas, we're running out of time, but here's what I want to do. I want to ask everybody to answer the following question. I call it our closeout question. So here we go. Based on tonight's conversation, what should every listener do or rethink this week? Based on tonight's conversation here on the Thought Brothers, in your opinion, what should every listener do or rethink? Okay. Colonel Garvin, you got the final word.
We often get wrapped up in our patriotism here in this country, and you see people flying flags all the time. And I think one of the questions we need to pose to ourselves is, what does it mean to be a patriot, right? The textbook definition says, hey, you have a devotion to your country, you believe in something greater than yourself, you're putting the country ahead of yourself, and you're there to serve your country or some greater need. And if you're applying that definition, I want you to apply that definition to the person in the White House. When you ask the question, does that person serve the need, or is he servicing himself? Is a patriot, again, does not call for the termination of the U.S. Constitution like Donald Trump did. A patriot does not work to upend the rule of law like Donald Trump is doing right now and his administration. A patriot does not lead an insurrection. And a patriot does not take the word of a dictator like Putin over his intelligence. A person does not seek to divide the country. A patriot doesn't call the men and women of the service veterans, suckers, and losers. And a patriot does not denigrate war heroes and their families. And a patriot is not embarrassed to be in the presence of combat wounded soldiers. And a patriot does not call on our number one military enemy to interfere with the presidential election. These are all the things that Donald Trump has done. And I submit to you that does not make him a patriot at all, despite many people calling him a patriot. And if you really believe in the veterans and support the veterans, you ought to reevaluate your assessment of this presidency. And if I were picking a patriot of this week, it'd be that landscaper and his three young sons who are Marines. Those are the true patriots. A man who came to this country, he appreciated what this country has done for them, and he instilled in his sons the value of respecting and loving this country and giving back to the country. It's all about service to the man. And you recall what I said. His son said one of his most pressing questions was, can you finish this landscaping job for me? It's all about service. That man has displayed more service than Donald Trump will ever display in his life. So I encourage people to reevaluate what it means to be a patriot.
Wow. On that note, folks, you've gotten some things to consider from our hosts this week. I'm Gary Johnson for the Thought Brothers, and until next week, we're out of here. Be safe.
Good night.
All right.
On base, y'all. Then I'm a funny man, y'all. My name is Larry Graham, but they call me